Just breaks our heart to hear that, because I'm a law enforcement officer for over 25 years, and I know that almost every officer that I know does this out of their heart. This is our job. As long as we're within the guidelines of using our tools correctly, we're never going to have problems, except that sometimes people perceive things differently, and it's very unfortunate that that's happening to these Border Patrol cowboys.
Alicia, you know, it seems like the lowest of the low to try and throw our Border Patrol agents, people who are doing an impossible job as it is, throw them under the bus, attack them, try and distract from the mismanagement down at the southern border by blaming them and trying to put the focus on them. Seems pretty low of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas to do such a thing.
It was, Lar, tough to hear that sergeant talking about the heartbreak of hearing the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, talking about fellow Americans whose job it is to protect our borders and protect fellow Americans. It's a tough sell that you're going to go after someone who's just down there, understaffed, exhausted, hot, and at risk of COVID because testing and vaccines aren't being done on the people coming across. To hear that, I can't imagine what it's like for them to get up in the morning or in the middle of the night to go to work knowing that the man in the White House doesn't stand behind them. It's tough for them. And I understand. I mean, the imagery, yes, the image itself is hard to see. However, when it's out of context, according to the photographer who took it, that needs to be brought into the conversation as well. And it's a little surprising that it's not even being acknowledged, even when being questioned by members of the media. Lara.
Yeah, it's so frustrating, I think, for so many people to see this. Charlie, the president of the National Border Patrol Council last week told Fox News that if Joe Biden wasn't the president, he would arrest him for aiding and abetting. And, you know, I think that the frustration from the American people is we have constantly had so many stringent rules placed on us throughout the COVID pandemic by this White House specifically. And then you have the man at the top not even following the law, not enforcing the Constitution, not doing anything at all that resembles any sort of rule. It's very frustrating for everyday Americans to see this.
Yeah. If anyone has a problem with those images at the border, all of the responsibility, 100% of the responsibility lies at the feet of President Biden. And of course, all of this comes on the heels of President Biden's refusal to take responsibility for the fact that he is also responsible for droning an aid worker in Afghanistan and his family, including 7 children. So I take it with a little grain of salt listening to President Biden lecture a couple of Border Patrol agents on horseback doing their job, abiding by the Constitution, fulfilling their duties, something that President Biden doesn't know anything about. But this whole thing, the fact that, and I think you all are all right, that this is all sort of designed to be sort of a shiny object to throw out there to deflect from the real disaster, which is the policies of this administration. But it's just proof. The fact that they want to racialize this is proof that these people, they will say anything. And the fact that you have Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden somehow equating enforcing our border to slavery in America. Good Lord! I thought that we had already sort of hit rock bottom. This is why you should never say it can't get any worse. I thought we'd already hit rock bottom, and then this happens, and they're equating enforcing our border to slavery in America. We've hit a new low, and again, I don't want to say, well, it can't get any worse, because they'll invent something else by next week to get even worse.
That's right. Just when you think it's gotten as bad as it can get, it gets worse. Take a listen to this sound. This is Joe Biden back in 1994 when he was a senator. These are his comments on U.S. diplomatic interest in Haiti.
The distinction between Bosnia and Haiti, for example. If some of us are right on Bosnia, where ethnicity dominates, that is a phenomenal potential consequence to the United States. If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
The world.
Wow, it wouldn't matter a whole lot. There are a lot of questions about what he meant by saying that. I think the interesting thing is, Joey, that we now see that it's not just people coming from Mexico, not just people coming from Central America. They're coming now from Haiti. Haiti is not connected to any land, in case no one noticed. A lot of people want to know, how did these folks get here?
You're exactly right. If you open up Twitter or Instagram, there's graphic after graphic with a big red line going from Haiti over to Mexico saying, how did this happen? I've seen where people are saying that a lot of these Haitian migrants are actually residents of South America and have come up, and they're destroying their papers that prove that, and saying they're migrants from Haiti and the things that are going on there. The truth is, we just don't know, and we deserve a system that vets people properly, that gets people into our country legally. I come from a town of migrants. Dalton, Georgia's got a bunch of Central Americans there that work in our carpet mills, and I love them. They're my fellow Americans, but most of them are legal, or a bunch of them are now if they're not dreamers. And so we deserve an immigration system that brings in people and brings them in with the right way for the right reasons, and this ain't it, especially not demonizing the people working the border. I mean, come on.
Yeah, terrible to see. We deserve it, and so do all the people that are trying to come to America. All right, the manhunt for Brian Laundrie likely costing taxpayers more than $1 million. And so far, search and rescue teams haven't found him. Tonight, Gabby Petito's best friend reveals her theory on his whereabouts. An update live from the Carlton Reserve coming up next.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and now with 2 new flavors.
At America's Best, you can get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam starting at just $69.95. And they don't even have to be identical. One pair can be practical and sturdy, while the other pair is super stylish and wildly good-looking.
I may not be able to tell time, but I know what time it is. It's grilled cheese o'clock.
Smart News.
I was only watching news I agreed with.
I was only getting news from social media.
Now, I use Smart News.
It has news from all sides.
I trust Smart News.
Download Smart News for free today.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of basic or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who've honorably served and their families. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Oh, sister of mine, I got you this. The new iPhone 13 Pro. It's on Verizon 5G. I can't believe you got me this. Yes, Verizon is giving one to everyone when they trade in their older damaged phone. Oh, so like every sister can get this? Yeah. Every aluminum siding installer. Why not? Every doula. They would have to. Every customer, new and old, can get iPhone 13 Pro on us. Because everyone deserves better. Everyone, horse trainers, manicurists, you get the new iPhone. We're alone. I know. What are we doing? I don't know.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches, weakness, or discomfort in your hands or feet? Introducing Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 selling nerve care company. As we age, natural changes to our nerves occur, which can lead to occasional discomfort. Nervive contains B-complex vitamins that nourish nerves, build nerve insulation, and enhance nerve communication, and alpha-lipoic acid, which relieves occasional nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort. Live your life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief.
Gutfeld in Nashville, all next week. We're taking over the Music City with the hottest topics, special guests, and the best crowd from the Listening Room Cafe. All next week, don't miss Gutfeld.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we created our Smart Seller system to sell your home for top dollar and save you thousands in commissions.
I was amazed in the fact that my house sold in 1 day. Ideal agents saved me in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000 in commissions. The process was as easy as it gets. They are the #1 way to sell your house.
Our service is free, available nationwide, and there's zero obligation. Call us today or visit idealagent.com.
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Fox News alert, the search for Brian Laundrie in a swampy Florida preserve intensifies as it enters a second week. Meantime, Gabby Petito's hometown paying a tribute to her ahead of her funeral tomorrow. As far as Brian Laundrie is concerned, law enforcement aren't the only ones looking for him. Dog the Bounty Hunter, that's him right there, showing up to the family home today to knock on the front door. Let's bring in Charles Watson, who is live in Venice, Florida. Hi, Charles.
Hi, Lisa. Yeah, it looks like the pressure is certainly mounting on law enforcement to find Brian Laundrie as the FBI issues a warrant for his arrest. And it looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter is stepping in to lend a helping hand. The famous reality TV star was seen just moments ago walking up to the Laundrie family home and knocking on the door. The Laundries didn't answer, but Dog says he's hoping to get some leads. Of course, Brian Laundrie is considered a fugitive these days. A federal grand jury indictment alleges he made more than $1,000 worth of fraudulent charges using someone else's debit card between August 30th and September 1st. That is the day police say Brian arrived at his parents' home in girlfriend Gabby Petito's van without Gabby. Now, several agencies have spent nearly a week searching for Brian through the alligator-infested and swampy Carlton Reserve, but some question whether Brian is there and why his parents aren't talking.
I think they should be out, honestly, with the cops voicing to their son that they want him to come home, to please, you know, even if you didn't do the right thing, do the right thing now, come home. Tell everybody what you did.
Now, police say Brian's parents claim to have last seen him on September 14th, saying he went to the Carlton Reserve for a hike. They reported him missing several days later on the 17th. While authorities are determined to find Brian, people from Florida to Wyoming and Utah have honored Gabby with makeshift memorials and visuals all week long in Gabby's hometown of Blue Point, New York. Hundreds joined a candlelight visual Friday night, and tomorrow her family will hold a private funeral before the public is let inside to pay their respects. Alicia?
Charles Watson, thank you so much. Okay, so let's begin this conversation. And Charlie, I'm going to begin with you. But first, I want to put something up from Rose Davis. This is Gabby Petito's best friend. She told People magazine, quote, "He is out in the wilderness. I promise you," Charlie, there's been a lot of speculation about if he is alive, if he isn't. According to this best friend and other people who have known him, he was able to survive for months in the mountains when he wanted to. What's your take?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously, you know, you always have to start with the caveat that we don't know what happened here. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. We don't even know the particulars of the cause of death and things like that. But it does underscore that it's the effort to obfuscate or the effort to cover things up that always sort of raise the biggest questions. And the questions about those texts that came from Gabby's phone to her mother, that her mother clearly looked at and took one look at and realized did not come from her daughter. And then the questions surrounding Brian's behavior and his movements after he got back to Florida, they're clear efforts to sort of cover tracks. And all of that raises so many questions. And again, without jumping to any conclusions, one thing is absolutely certain. Brian has a lot of questions he needs to answer. And so obviously only he can answer them. And that can only happen if he's, you know, once he's located.
Well, and also the family, right? The family also has a lot of questions to answer. And Joey, I'll go to you next. But first, I want everyone to take a listen to what neighbors of the Laundrie family had to say when they realized that the family was going on a camping trip when right after Gabby disappeared. Take a listen.
I didn't think anything unusual. You know, they got a new camper, so they wanted to their own touch inside of it. I saw them doing some work. then when they prepared for their trip, I saw them loading the camper. The parents going on a trip, I can see that, but taking their 23-year-old son in a small camper that's on the back of the truck struck us as odd.
Joey, the list of suspicious behavior by this entire family, it's a list that just seems to be endless.
Yeah, and the only problem here is it seems like there's a lack of physical evidence or good evidence to put anyone in jail for this. And I'm not saying anyone's complicit in her murder. We don't know that. And perhaps they're not putting any more about that out because they don't want him to find out what they know. But what we do know is that his parents helped him essentially escape or evade what was probably a likely arrest. If he did not kill her, he knew something happened enough that he's going on the run. And common sense tells us, you know, innocent people don't run like that, this premeditated way. And at the end of the day, you got a whole family, a whole community mourning a young woman's life being ended. The least, especially if he were innocent, the least he and his family could do is give some peace as to what they do know happened. And you know, if they found bank charges as a way to put a arrest warrant out for him, they're probably looking for something to bring his parents in as well, because they have a lot more to tell than they've told, or at least that we know about.
And Laura, Gabby Petito's family cannot imagine what they're going through right now. And this best friend also told People magazine of the relationship that she observed between these two as to be a toxic relationship and that there were jealousy issues there. And you got to wonder how much her family actually knew.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's just the worst case scenario. This is something that, you know, as parents, we say, how do you teach your kid to make good choices when they grow up and make sure they hang out with good people? And it seems the saddest part, I think, to me of all of this is that it seems like there were so many opportunities that Gabby had to get away from him, whether, you know, he was being too aggressive with her. You know that we've seen all these videos where the police got involved, where people were saying, are you okay? Do you need help? It just makes you wonder, gosh, if she had said, I need help, I need to get away from him, would she still be around today? And, you know, sometimes you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, something is wrong. I need to tell my friend something is wrong. Maybe what we take out of this, you know, just as human beings, is that whenever you feel very strongly about something, you have to speak up, tell a friend, ask for help. It's a really upsetting thing that this has happened to a young, promising woman, and you just wonder if she'd have taken that help, where would she be?
Yeah, and we continue to pray for the Petito family and justice for them. Next, are we still following the science as the Biden administration confuses everyone with its push for booster shots? Schools in one big city won't have to enforce its vaccine mandate for now. The Big Saturday Show continues in moments.
Now there's a new way Experian Boost can raise your credit scores.
I boosted 16 points using Experian.
I downloaded the app, I linked some of my streaming services, and boom, my credit score went up.
Now paying for Netflix, Hulu, and more can boost your credit scores. Download the Experian app now.
Sarah!
Jenny Craig works. Introducing Rapid Results Max. You can lose up to 17 pounds in your first 4 weeks.
Doing Jenny Craig, my best decision ever.
Limited time offer and flexible delivery options with Jenny Craig.
We believe everyone deserves to live better. And just being sustainable isn't enough. Our future depends on regeneration. That's why we're working to not only protect our planet, but restore, renew, and replenish it, so we can all live better tomorrow.
New customers get our best deals on all smartphones.
That's right.
But what if I'm already a customer?
Oh, no problem. Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
Oh, it's a great deal. What if I'm new to AT&T?
Cam, can...
Oh, nice.
Hey, but what about for existing customers?
Same deal.
Is he okay?
It's not complicated. With AT&T, everyone gets our best deals on every smartphone.
Energy is everywhere, even in a little seedling, which, when turned into fuel, can help power a plane. At Chevron's El Segundo refinery, we're looking to turn plant-based oil into renewable gasoline, jet, and diesel fuels. Our planet offers countless sources of energy, but it's only human to find the ones that could power a better future.
I was getting run down. I was coaching. I coach all the time. I work early in the morning. I needed energy. So I started taking Balance of Nature, and I could coach better. I could hit the ball harder at my players. I can make an overhand serve, which I have not been able to do in a long time. And my players noticed too, like, you've got more energy.
Balance of Nature does give me that peace of mind. Instead of trying to isolate certain vitamins and minerals, you're taking the whole thing. I think it's the closest thing to actually eating real fruit and vegetables.
With Balance of Nature, immediately I noticed that my energy levels picked up. Even with not a lot of sleep, I could function and be the mom I needed to be for my son.
Start your journey with the best fruit and vegetable product on the market by .com or by calling 1-800-2468-751. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code Fox News.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes